Now in this third exercise, we're going to go ahead and paint away those areas of darkness that we added to the image where we want the image to actually be lighter. So we're going to go into Photoshop, and we'll note that our curves layer is going to be blue, and you want to make sure that that white thumbnail in that curves layer has these little brackets around it. Those little brackets indicate that it's active or turned on. So we're going to go back and turn off our map by clicking on the eyeball, and then we're going to make sure that our curves layer is clicked on and that our brackets are active around the thumbnail. And then we're going to do one other thing. We're going to make sure that our color picker, which in the lower left hand corner of the toolbox, has black in the foreground and white in the background. So if you have some other color there, to get to black and white, you just have to click on these teeny little black and white patches right here. And that gets you black and white. And you can flip-flop between the two by hitting this arrow that switches the foreground to the background color. So we're going to make sure that black is in the foreground. The reason black is being used in the foreground is because we've got a white thumbnail here. So the black is used to remove parts of this white thumbnail or this white adjustment mask that we applied in the last exercise. So the last thing we have to do is we've got to select a tool to get rid of parts of that mask. And the tool we use is the brush tool. So we're going to select that brush tool, and then we are going to make the tool larger or smaller based upon where we want to adjust. So in this case, I'm working with the clouds here. I want to make them lighter. So I'm going to make just a little bit smaller adjustment tool, like that, or adjustment brush. And then another important thing here is we're going to want to change the opacity of this brush to about 40%. Doesn't have to be exactly, kind of close by. So this means that only about 40% of the brush strength is being used during any click of the mouse. So what I'm going to do in this picture is I'm going to run my mouse over the areas of the cloud that I want to be lighter. So you can see it's kind of a subtle adjustment, but nonetheless it is making those areas lighter. So you'll have to do this a bit with your mouse and continue working over the spots until you reach an area or an appearance that matches the way you have visualized the image. And if you note over here in our layer mask, there's a little black area that indicates the area that you've been working on with this brush technique. So in this case, we've made the clouds lighter by painting off parts of this layer that we applied in the previous exercise. In the next exercise, we're going to go in and work on these clouds up at the top of the frame here. We're going to make them a little bit lighter.